I'm Lauren Treat. I'm a child neurologist and palliative medicine doctor at Children's Hospital, Colorado. I have always loved neurology. The brain is endlessly fascinating for me, and I've always enjoyed kind of translating that knowledge into treatments and conversations with patients and families and helping them have that aha moment for themselves to understand more about what's going on with their loved one. And while I was in my residency and fellowship for child neurology, I think I became really frustrated, to be honest, by some of the conversations that I was witnessing with these families that were happening around me, specifically the conversations about whether or not someone was going to pursue a new technology or an invasive procedure or something that had a lot of moving parts to it. I think a lot of the time, what I would observe is that the doctors would be able to talk about the scientific aspects, a lot of the data, the rates, the volumes, the length of stay, the number side of things, but there was far less conversation that happened about how this was going to impact your life, the relationship with the child, about, you know, how as you enter and maintain this very stressful situation, are you going to fortify your marriage? Is your home life going to survive all of this? You know, how are you as the parent caregiver going to actively fight back about the inevitable burnout that's going to come with this, or the guilt that you're going to feel as we're asking you to live a very complicated life? And I think that that's where the palliative care side enters to me. It's that human level work that we have to intentionally bring back into these conversations now that medicine has gotten so advanced.
I love that, Lauren, because yes. Did you, when you were doing your residency, or fellowship, I guess you said, did you notice, I mean, were families did you see that families were wondering these things, but not being invited to ask? Or did you just think that, like, what did you observe happening on the family side?
I think a lot of times the family starts to ask something along the human level, and then it gets kind of sidelined into something related to the data, something about, like, you know, well, how does someone sleep when they're trying to care for a child like that? And the answer is going to come more in the form from the team about, like, well, you're going to have a 4-hour block here and maybe, you know, this and that, rather than, oh my gosh, it is incredibly critical that you sleep. We have to find a way for this to be sustainable for you and for your family, because you deserve that, first of all. And you can't continue to care well for your child in a sleepless state. And, you know, we're all human and we all have all these limits, you know, going to that human level first before then saying, and this is how it's going to look logistically, is so critically important. And I think we skip right over that in medicine. We're trained to skip right over it. I mean, it's in medicine, to the doctor's side, often seen as a liability to go into those things that might bring out the emotion, that might bring out more of the challenging space that we don't have answers to. And doctors like to have answers. Humans like to have answers. We all want to be able to be sure about what we're doing. And for all of those reasons, no one intentionally is trying to brush those things under the rug, but I think that's functionally what happens in a lot of those conversations.